Good morning. Happy Father's Day.
Pinches Lowriders.
Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Wait for all of you to get on here. I'm going to share the link on my Facebook. Give me 1 second. Good morning, everybody. Just sharing the link on my Facebook and my Facebook like page. Wait and see who gets on. Hold on. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, here we go. All right, 14-9. How's it going? What's that? All right. Victorville, what's up? Happy Father's Day. Yeah, it's not my business to bring back Lowrider magazine. I don't have the money, and they're corporate owned anyway. They're doing their YouTube thing. Still try to catch up to me, but it is what it is. Otherwise, my second cup of coffee. Well, I'd like to just say Happy Father's Day. Everybody that's going to see this video that's on here live, that's in the live chat. If you're a dad, Happy Father's Day. It's been a weird, rough couple months. My grandmother passed away on the 25th of last month. Yeah, it was really hard. And then, after that, I mean, that's the lady that raised me, like helped my mom raise me. And then I just got some bad news. Friday, a friend of mine from like my teenage years, well, up until now, he passed away in his sleep sometime overnight. So it's been one of those days, it's just been, I went to Reno. I got to edit the video. Oh, sorry. Anyways, I went to Reno yesterday just for the day, drove up from San Jose. I was, the crazy thing is like, I've been planning that trip since last year, and life happens. So everybody, not everybody was able to make it. Um, it just ended up being one of those things where it was me and my son. And I try to do or get him to do stuff with me now. Everybody always asks me, being a father, everybody asks because when he was little, he'd ride his pedal car around at some of the events. But everybody's always asking me, "Where's your son? Where's your son?" And most of the time, I tell them because I'm not going to waste my time bringing him to one of these things. A lot of times, I try to. He has a camera, my extra camera that I let him use, and he'll take pictures for a little bit. But like 10 minutes into the show, he's just like, "I want to go home," or "I'm hot, my feet hurt." I'm like, "Dude, you got to be out here." So one of the main reason as being a parent and trying to get things done is the luxury of thinking, when people always like, "Where's my son?" Well, he's at home, on his tablet in air conditioning because, there's he's too young to understand the hustle. So, with that being said, when I went to Reno yesterday, it was really nice and there was a really good turnout. They had a permit for the park. packed with cars. Some cars came up, cars from Watsonville, from the East Bay, all the way up to Reno, Nevada for this event. And, they had a really nice turnout. And I definitely hope they keep doing it. And it was just one of those things where I just constantly was getting, approached by people. Hey, how's it going? Obviously never met me. I got kids. Hey, I watch your YouTube, and I just want to thank you for all that support. Thank everybody for all that support, because it means a lot. And it really is something that that makes a difference in what I do and why I do it. It's something I've actually tried to explain to my son, but he's 9. He watches YouTube, and I want him to learn how to make YouTubes and stuff like that. And it doesn't always have to be about cars, but I want him to start somewhere so he gets used to it. So as a dad, I'm trying to show him something that could be a lifelong trade. I never knew how important photography was, and it ran in my family. My grandfather was the guy with the camera all the time, and he actually had all kinds of different cameras. I lost one of his Polaroids in a move. My ex must have took the box. I asked her for it. She thought I was accusing her for stealing it, but it was really just, hey, I think you grabbed the wrong box. But so that's gone. And I have one other camera. Um, you know, and that belonged to my grandfather. But I never realized it, and then when I was little, like if he wasn't around, then here, Rick, hold the camera. It wasn't until I was in 2010, 2011 that I really started actually doing this stuff. So, for me, it was always there, but it was never taught. So as a father, that's kind of something I'm trying to do, because what I'm trying to tell my son is later on, it's a trade and it's also a hustle. So it could be a side gig and or lead to other things, computer graphics, graphic design. He can, do possibly do stuff to invent video games and such, write programs, all this stuff like that. It's just the temperament is what I'm trying to impress on my son. Also, I had to tell him yesterday, the reason why I don't show you anything other than what you're doing right now with your camera is because you can't carry it for like more than 10 minutes. So part of this is that's why I haven't gone into depth with him about doing it, because he has to learn how to carry the damn camera all day in the heat. Like, until he can do that, and only until he can do that, will I get more detailed into what he, can learn. Jane Shepherd, thank you. Appreciate it. So anyhow, yeah, I want to get on here. I haven't done a live, and so I make it a special day. Father's Day is always interesting for me, but I grew up without a father. Not even I never even seen a picture of my father. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm the father that I've always wanted in my life, and I try to tell people that all the time. It's like I've heard it before. I've heard people's excuses. I'm gonna probably rip into some people today, but the thing is I've heard people's excuses. I never had a father. I didn't know how to be a father. Well, no shit. People with fathers don't know how to be fathers. But there's a catch. And my best advice to most people is like, look, you may not know how to be a father, but if you feel that way, that maybe you imagine the father that you should have had, or you wanted to have, or you thought, would be the ideal father. And then you have to understand that now you're able to, once you've thought those things, felt those things, you understand those things and can imagine those things, you can also apply them to you and who you are and who you will be as a father. Now, that's baby mama drama aside and everything else like that. But, any of my friends, I have a lot of friends that have been through hell with their relationships with their baby mom or mother of their child or anything like that. But the ones that stick it out, the ones that just don't give up, they have a relationship with their kids better than they ever thought as the kids are older. A lot of people. A lot of men that don't give up and don't walk away and don't give into the bullshit that maybe the disgruntled, you know, mom or whatever has tried to do. A lot of times the kids, as they grow up, they realize that all that craziness and that negative and all that bull is false. And then they realize that their father, you know, he couldn't do anything about it. And they were robbed. They were robbed of time with their dad. And at the same time, the women that keep their kids and they want to be mad, they don't, because he doesn't want to give them all the money they want, because they don't want to work, you don't want to be in a relationship with them, whatever it may be. If you're keeping your kid away from somebody, you're robbing that man from his growth as well. So if you want him to be a better man and a better father, but yet you don't want him to have his kid, and then you're going to get mad and tell everybody about it, you're actually kind of robbing him of his growth as a parent, as a father. So that's why when he goes and has other kids with someone else, he's like the wonderful dad in the whole wide world. And not to your kid, because it's you. It's not the kid. It's not his personal, thing. And of course, that's always looking on the one side, but it's not always true, because there's some people that they just don't have a relationship with some of their kids. And then maybe they, it's just one of those things. And they have a relationship with other kids. And it's things that I've never been through that. So we don't understand exactly how it works. But as a father, I see the men that really try, and then I see the men that don't, and I know that, and I've seen it, and I know who they are, and I just, you know, and then there's the ones that are patient, and the men that are patient, that know that once their kids are at the right age, they'll will definitely understand that it wasn't their decision. And like I said, it's one of those things of being a father. I hate the fact that in most people's mentality, it's it's an excuse saying, I don't know how, I never had one. I never had one, and I don't know how. But I became somebody that I wanted in my life, so that my son would never have to experience the things I experienced, or feelings that I ever felt without a father. So that's the exact concept. You have to turn your mind. And if you don't know how to do any of that, you have to go learn it. I had to learn a lot of things. I learned what I wanted and everything before I even became a father. And I had to learn all that based on growing up without one. Now, my son wants his tablet. He wants to hold his tablet tight and cuddle his tablet. He's at that age. But we have plans to do things. What I'm trying to implement in him is that, like, we're going to get a set of mountain bikes and start doing stuff like that. But I try to tell him straight out, you're going to get hot and sweaty. You're going to get tired. In the first couple times we go riding, your body's going to hurt. It's going to ache. You're going to be hot. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to sweat. That's called life. He told me, he's 9 years old. He told me he wants to play football. I said, how are you going to play? It's too hot for you to be out here holding the camera. You want to play football? You want to know if football practice starts in the middle of summer? You know what happens when you start football practice? You wear all your gear and you run all the damn time. So it's not about, it's really breaking his endurance. And I got to give it to you. The one of the things that I do give, and I take an exception, is the COVID thing, the whole not being in school. So he has like gone over a year without having to get dressed, put his regular shoes on, because he wants to be in flip flops all day, and being out and about and walking and moving and everything, because of COVID, because of everything that's happening. He's been in the house on the tablet. So I gotta break him from that. And that's the catch. And the reason why I put a camera in his hand also is so that he's not bored while I'm doing what I'm doing. I've had women I've had women go with me to car shows, and they're bored out of their mind. And they're there because they want to be with me. And at the end of the day, I'm like, that's a horrible date. I'm sorry, but I can't take you to a car show. Just if you want to come, like, chill with me, because I'm too damn busy and I don't stop from when I get there to when I leave. I'm going, and then I may have time to hold a couple conversations, but other than that, I'm out. So I don't even get time to enjoy it, because from one point to another, I'm constantly doing everything that brings you to this channel, which is the videos and everything like that, and the footage and the camp and the pictures from my website and everything else. All that is nonstop for me. I enjoy being out there. I like what I'm seeing, and I encourage it, whatever. But at the same time, I can't always have a sitter for him just because he doesn't want to get hot. And that's the thing. There's a bunch of kids out there playing, chilling with their parents, chilling with their dads, and it's life. It's just that's real life. So, I understand he just wants to be because he does. He's in the room sleeping right now. Okay, and he wants to be here with me, whether we watch a movie together, where I'm doing this and he's doing something else, or I'm editing and he's playing a game, or we're playing a Nintendo together or something. I understand he really just wants to be here. Period. And I want him to be here. But I can't just sit in the house and twiddle my thumbs when I'm not at work. That's the catch. So that's the one thing. But you asked about the movie Lowrider. It was stupid. I get it's like the Titanic wasn't about the Titanic. It was a love story, a fictional love story. And the movie Lowrider, at the end of the day, with the whole, I get the whole father son kind of generational aspect about it, but it was way off base. I mean, I can't even believe they used Elysian Park in the beginning as some like super giant show that people from everywhere. It's a damn park and it's a strip of parking at the park, and people cruise it, and it's like I even never even been there, but I know because people told me, and I see it. It's just a little section. So they made it like, oh, this is like the biggest event, and then this leads to this giant event. And I'm thinking to myself, that's the idiotic thing in the world. They could have done something way different, way better. But I'm telling you right now, any movie that's about lowriders is not going to be about building a car and paint jobs and shit like that. So people that fucking whined about it's not about lowriders, no shit. Because who's going to make a movie for a movie theater about painting a car? When it has to be entertaining. That movie was, I get it, but it was kind of whack. I mean, even the whole, he was more creep, like more being tough guy gangster. He kind of came off more of like a creep more than a gangster. Like he didn't seem like, oh, gangster scary. He looked more like he got some mental health problems scary. But yeah, that's what my take on that movie. I did buy it just to support because it has to do with lowriders. But at the end of the day, I got the movie. But yeah, they could have done way better on the writing. So, anyways, let's see. Let's get back to some other stuff. Um, Next weekend, the Impala's Magazine Oakland show. That's at the Oakland Coliseum. No, it's not indoors. It's all outdoors. Um, I just talked to him a couple days back, seeing how everything was going. He has over 600 pre-reg already. So over 600. They're doing moving on Friday and a moving in Saturday morning, the day of the show. You have to be moved in by 11. Be there before 11. People always show up at 11, and then everybody it's already packed. So I don't know. Like if you're not happy where you're at, that's it. Oops. But um, that's gonna be good. Everybody is really stoked about that show. I hear a lot of people talking about it. I have a model flying in from Arizona to be at my booth. I'll have a booth out there. So she'll have some prints for sale. If you want to know who that is, I'll be posting it on my Instagram. Um, let's see. I suppose I have Ruthie, but she may not make it. That's not an issue. Um, let's see what else. Um, So yeah, the Oakland, he already confirmed over 600 pre-regs. Now think about something. I need to understand something. I went to the Stockton show and he had 1,600 entries. 16 over 1,000 cars. Over 1,000. Because when you say entries, that includes lowrider bikes, pedal cars, motorcycles. That's a total. So he had over 1,600 entries total, over 1,000 cars. okay, at that show. And I ain't never been to a show that had that many cars, period. Plain and simple at all. So if you've seen my two Stockton videos, the two, one's like an hour, another one's like 40 minutes. There's not the same car in there almost, pretty much. There's like, might be kind of, but not, there's not. The footage in there covers that show completely. And like I said, not one car repeats in that, in both those videos. Um, for Oakland, we'll see how that goes. Um, there's also another car show the day after Oakland in Merced. That would be Best of Show magazine. They're having their show. I am going to try to make an appearance to that one. I have the model here till Monday morning, so I think we're gonna go. I'm not gonna have a booth, but we will go make an appearance. But I really highly recommend check out the Oakland if you can get to Oakland. And Oakland probably won't be so damn hot. Now Stockton, when we did the Stockton show last month, ooh, buddy, it was like 100 degrees and it was hot and it was rough. That's why I didn't even put that much pictures. I got video and that's it. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to everybody that's on here that's a father as well. Um, I was hoping my son's asleep still. I'll let him be. He had a long day yesterday. Oh yeah, no, I know. I know. That's because I put everything I do in this world above. Nothing goes above him, and everything's for him. At the end of the day, you understand that when I keep these on YouTube, this leaves a legacy for him. And he doesn't, he don't understand what that is. But I've always told people what I want to do with this more than anything is to be able for him when he's grown up to go look. That was my dad, and that's what's important. So to me, that's all. That's what was important. You know. Um, so another thing I wanted to bring up, I had posted this on the community page part of the YouTube. So I am like, I keep saying this over and over. I got to revamp the Custom Vida website. It's hard to have two things going on. I want to make it all about the podcast and the website and interviews, different types of aspects from custom stuff and such. Not just lowriders, but all pieces of that and the lifestyle and stuff and the motorcycles and the tattoo artists and the oldies and DJs and even other photographers and even other people that do what I do. So, with that being said, that's yours, Pop. Look at the table. Um, my son just woke up. So right now I'm trying and I want to bring in some more stuff to do lives. I want to keep doing more lives. It's been hard. I mean, I've been working really hard. I've been trying to get things taken care of with funerals and stuff like that. I've had to like push back on some things. But as much as I know it is what it is, I have to push forward. So I'm gonna be putting out probably some kind of suggestion thing soon, and then just to get some ideas of what stuff you guys want me to talk about when I come on the lives. I know that one of the things I'm going to do on here is going to be about my equipment. I've actually get a lot of DMs about equipment questions. What kind of camera? What kind of this? What should I use? How do I use it? And things like that. So I want to bring that to the table, as well as um, just for the other stuff. I want to do the interviews and everything. Now that COVID's getting better, like I said, the whole Custom Vida podcast that I wanted to start was more live interviews, like really interviewing people face to face. I wanted to travel. I wanted to go places and take my stuff because I have it and it's designed to be mobile. So I wanted to do that so that I can go sit down with people and talk to them, and not like lowrider. I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna do all that. Okay, lowrider's already doing it. I'm not gonna go interview and ask people the same exact things or talk about the same exact things that lowrider's doing. Like, what is it, Cowboy? What's in your garage? I don't want to do anything like that. That's his thing. He's done it before me. I don't want to do any of it. It's not that he's not. He's doing it and it works for him. And just because it works for him does not mean that I'm going to do it for me, because I want to respect his work. The biggest thing that gets them, I was telling somebody this yesterday in Reno. A lot of times, the reason why I don't get to have fun is because I'll think, oh, I'm going to go to this off the wall car show, or I'm going to try to be over here instead of over there where everybody's at. And then everybody's at the same thing. And then at the end of the day, I'm like in a hurry to get my stuff out because it's competition. And so, and then like if I try to do something, then somebody else does it. I don't care how innocent they think it is, but like everybody shoots in old Sacramento. I'm sorry, but that shit's played out with the same exact cars. I'm sorry, but that doesn't impress the public. It doesn't, because it's like, oh, it's a test shoot. Okay, but look, I get that. That's your boy. They're always available, and it's in the same place with almost the exact same models, and you're taking pictures, whatever it may be for that. You can't do that every weekend. No one will take you seriously. And it's the truth, regardless of who you are. Okay. You got to change up shit. I went out there and I did a photo shoot on the other side of and the bridge. Less than 2 weeks later, somebody else did a shoot with the bridge in the background in the same area that I did. What I'm telling you is that shit ain't original. And what I'm saying is I do what I can to do at least something original. My concept is I'm not trying to be the same old, same old. And so this is why, like, I was doing my photo shoots, and then now I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep doing photo shoots with models, because I mean, a lot of you guys want to see that shit, but at the end of the day, the videos don't go up because I know some of you guys don't. If you see my stuff, you're not subscribed, and if you don't have an account, anything that's considered 18 and over, you won't get it. You won't see it. So you have to and that's why you have to have an account on YouTube so you could see everything. And because the kids and stuff, they do that for that. And at the same time as well, you know, I understand that not all of you can watch all that stuff. And I get that. That's your respect for your relationships and stuff like that. That's fine too. I'm not doing anything crazy. Just taking pictures of the girls on the car and whatever. So, but those videos really don't take off. Of course, I know what takes off. I know what works, and I'm not going to say it because but I've still given people hints of how to help their YouTube, and they don't listen. They do exactly the opposite of what I say, and then they wonder why their numbers are fucking low. Uh, right now, I'm number two. I am number two in low riding videos on YouTube. Okay. Man Cave TV is number one, and I think he's at 126,000 subscribers, and I'm over 116,000 subscribers right now. And thank you for everybody that's there. That's the big thing, because it's helping. Does it make me rich? It doesn't make me rich, to be honest with you. In the last month, my earnings have gone down. But then again, also I know that the world has opened up, so no one's at home watching YouTube anymore, except for little kids that don't want to do anything else other than that. Javier, my son's sitting right here. But no, it's true. I mean, everything COVID's gotten better and things have opened up. So then, the video earnings and the views are not where they were, because you're not stuck at home watching it anymore. And I get that. That's okay. But I'm going to be bringing more content. Like I said, I got Oakland. I have this other show I'm going to do in Merced. Um, so we're going into July. I don't even know what I'm going to do for July yet. I know. Okay. So I'm booked. I'll be in Modesto on the 17th. And as of that, I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I'm going to go to Texas yet. I'm trying to get there. I'm got to see how the budget works. But I was thinking about going to the Torres, but in on the what is it, July 23rd or 24th, but no, the 25th. Sorry, well, whenever that weekend, I was thinking about going to that. So as of that, locally, that's that. August, whole different story. There's events all month long. I can pick from all day long. Thank you, Shauna. Like I said, I'm not a follower. Every time someone goes and finds the same spot I shoot in, it's like San Jose. They just redid some murals underneath the bridge. I've done photo shoots there. I've done 2 shoots there, I think, in that area. No, actually, I've done 3, but that was before there was murals, so I didn't really use underneath the overpass. Now there's complete murals from one end to the other. They're all beautifully freaking top notch, badass Chicano murals. But the second they were up there, everybody and their mama did a billion photo shoots there. I won't touch it. It's not worth it to me right now. Maybe I will if I get really creative and I can do something I really, really want to do. But and I have the right person and the right model and the right car, I might do it. But for now, I won't even go near it. That's because everybody played it out like instantaneously. But because if you really want to go back to where some of the murals and the photo shoots, I did one with China a couple years back, and I did that. No one else was doing that. I did another one. Actually, I did a couple with some of the murals out here. Nobody was doing it. So, am I an innovator? And I don't know. I'm just trying to be different. I'm looking for what's people ain't doing, and then trying to do it. And that's kind of something. Sometimes I have to do the basic stuff. Like to me, it's basic. Like, and that's okay too. Because I'm just trying to get some stuff done and out there. But other times, it's like I think I want to start just getting really wild and creative because as for a photo shoot to make it worth my while, it needs to really like stand out above and beyond. So, I mean, I may have just basic photo shoots, and I have ones that I put in a lot of effort, work, planning, and things that I want to do more than just take pictures of a female on a car. Whether it's a chola shoot, whether it's a pinup shoot, whether it's a bikini shoot, lingerie shoot, all that stuff. I still want to figure out ways of doing it differently. So, with that being said, with that being said, so YouTube has an option. Um, and some of you guys know about it or not, but there's a option to be members. And since basically I think after I passed 100,000, um, after I passed 100,000 subscribers, or maybe even before then, but it gave me an option to make videos members only. So obviously you'd have to pay if I made some content that was for members only. And it doesn't mean I'm going to make content that's, overly sexual or adult. But one of my questions to you, and you can answer, please answer in the comments, is that if I made content for members only, what particularly would you be looking for? So you all know I don't put music. I have to muffle music. I have to slow songs down. I have to edit it so you really can't hear the music, or have to mute it if it somehow it does, set off a copyright thing. I have to mute it so you'll watch a video and then it just goes completely silent. That's because after the fact it's told me, and then they give you an option and you can mute it, and it takes like a long time to process, and it takes the song out for me. But that's the only easy way to do it without having to edit and reload the whole video and do all that, and that takes even longer. But my point is that, so if I do like a members only, so if I do like a members only, um with some videos, what would the videos consist of? What would you expect to pay for? Would you want me to put like old school or oldies on the music? Yeah, if they even let me to make money off of it still, you pay into that, and like once a month, and I'll do like a reasonable like $5 or something like that. Um, Obviously I want to get a bunch of content for that, so you guys aren't paying for nothing. But or should I do all my photo shoots with models on that? Or should I do, commentary? Maybe do I've seen some people do it, and I've kind of always wanted to do it. But and I tell my homeboy that helps me, I said, like, so I want to start doing like maybe a commentary, like let the video, like say Stockton, right? The Stockton videos, you guys have already seen them. But what if I put them back up with like me and the photographer, the videographer that helps me film it, and we conversate about what we saw, our opinions of, oh, look at, okay, so here's this one in baller right here. This came from, blah, blah, blah. This was, yeah, caught my eye because of why. And conversation about that. Um, that's kind of something where, I've been kind of playing with these ideas. And I know, some people are going to watch this and then they're just going to go do it because, they're trying to beat me to the punch. Go ahead. I don't care. But if not, whatever. But anyways, these are just ideas of things of to do and what would I do with the whole members only. So, I want to bring more content to you in general. Um, period. And not just always, you guys like the action, the car shows, the cruising and all that stuff. But in the comments, if you have any kind of, input, like what would you be willing to pay extra for to be a member only? So, with that being said, so make sure you fill in the comments. And if not at all, then not at all. Because if the more majority say don't, I'm not going to pay anything extra for anything, then I'm not going to even waste my time making members only content. I'm just going to keep putting it out here for free. But the thing is, it always come with a cost. I'm trying to make money. On average, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I tell you right now, from when it's decent, I'm averaging 800 to 1,000 a month. That's where I want it to be. Where I actually what I need it to be is to be like averaging 2,000 a month. I'd be really happy. But at the end of the day, it helps me pay my bills, and it also pays for the trips I take to go do all this stuff for you guys. So when people say, "Damn, you're everywhere," it's because of my YouTube channel. 'Cause if it wasn't for my YouTube channel, I wouldn't be anywhere. I'd be only local. Period. What up, Reno? I was in Reno. I drove. It takes me 4 hours to drive there. Took me 4 hours to drive right back. So anyhow, I covered the Reno event. When I get off of here, I'm actually going to get onto my other computer. I don't have a video. I don't have video on this computer. My big badass computer that I fucking love now. So I'm on my laptop using the camera here. But when I invest in like a 4K or a better camera that I can hook up to this one, maybe I'll change up the lives and look a little bit better. Sometimes I use my camera, but it only allows me to do 30 minutes or 25 minutes when I use my actual camera. And you have to know what you're doing to set that up. It took me a minute to figure it out, and I had to buy extra equipment to stream from my camera. So some people try to just do this, and it doesn't work. There's look it up how to live stream. There's other stuff you have to get. The stuff you don't need. I have stuff you don't need. This fancy mic and boom and my setup over here is a luxury, and I invested in it. But you can do stuff like this without. Pretty much all you need is like a microphone and a laptop. So, but I'm gonna be getting into that. I'm gonna get into a series of how I do the things I do, not why, but how. You know what? I looking forward to it, and so I talked to Ernie, and I told Ernie, yeah, you guys need to do this again because that was their first event, and at that park. It was their first event, and it's a pretty solid turnout. It was packed with people. They got all the permits they needed for the park and what they needed to do through permits. Yeah, I always tell people all the time. Oh, the city shut us down. Oh, the cops are fucking with us. Oh, spend some money. Well, I'm doing it for the community. Spend some money. Well, how come this doesn't happen anymore? Spend some money. At the end of the day, permits make fucking everything great. Now, King of the Streets, San Francisco, unfortunately, they had issues with the venue they wanted to get. They want to park the cars the day of the show at the Cow Palace with all the stuff going on and everything else like that. Cow Palace changed the date on them. Then it ended up being the same day as San Jose Boulevard Nights. Now, I want you guys to understand something. San Jose Boulevard Nights and San Francisco King of the Streets off the top, non-car show, two biggest events in Northern California. It, you know, King of the Streets got so big, you're starting to get people from like LA and stuff and coming out for King of the Streets in Frisco. And it's awesome. Okay. So it sucked that it ended up being it ended up being on the same day, but the promoters from um, Boulevard Night San Jose, they moved the date. So they moved it to the next weekend. It's still way too close together. Usually those things are a month apart. And, but two biggest cruise nights in the area, period, every year. That was August. So it's August 14th. So that screwed me up because not only is August 14th was supposed to be Boulevard Nights, which is at night, which is a cruise. I made plans and I'm going to be in San Diego that day. So I'm going to be in San Diego on the 14th, August 14th for the Day at the Bay car show, which is also sold out on car spots, open free to the public. You can walk in, no problem. Last I heard from Pelon that he had sold out all the car spots, which is about over 700 vehicles. Now that is one badass show. So if you're in the San Diego area, LA area, you gotta go. And if you can't get your car there, go anyway. It's nice. It's surrounded three sides by water. It's nice. It's in the marina, Barcadero. Um, so I was gonna fly out there. It takes an hour to fly. Get on a plane, fly Uber 15 minutes to the event, do my thing, Uber back to the airport, fly back, and I was gonna come out here for Boulevard Nights. Well, now that's not gonna happen. I won't even see King of the Streets this year because King of the Streets starts in the daytime. It's a car show, it's a hop, and then they have a cruise on the mission with a permit. Okay. So you guys, I don't know if you've paid attention in all these years, but in the sign, there's signs on there. Boulevard, King of the Streets event, no parking, because the lowriders get to park there and then they get to cruise. Permitted. It costs a lot of money, but damn, it's nice. So if you've ever really wondered why you can't get certain things to kick off, looking at getting permits. It's not as easy as you think, but looking at getting permits. So somebody said, well, why don't this, the lowrider, councils or whatever do fundraiser to get permit? Well, how are you going to do a fundraiser with cars when you got to get a permit to have the fundraiser for the cars to get money for a permit? It doesn't work. It works hand in hand, and it doesn't work that easy. So, I know all kinds of people that have had stuff shut down because they were going to do like a chili cook-off, or they're going to do this or that, and it was going to be lowrider based and all that. And the reason why the chili cook-off, you need permits. You need a permit to serve food. You need a permit and insurance for the event. These are all real things. And if you haven't, the only 3 podcasts I actually have are from promoters, and they'll tell you there's a lot of money you got to pay. Security, everything, you got to pay for the venue, all that. So a lot of people that cry and whine about why I got to pay this money to go to a car show, then there wouldn't be any car shows. And with the stigma and stuff like that of most of what lowriders are, stereotyped to be, they expect a lot of problems. Most of the time there ain't. That's the funny part. I've never gotten to go to the Pomona swap meet. I heard that it's the same old, same old. You got to go to the first 1 or 2 in the beginning of the year if you really wanted to see like it to be like with the cars, the little show they have there. Some of the people that I do know that live out there, that's what they tell me. If you want to go to one and like see it at its best, it's the first 1 or 2. After that, a lot of times it's just the same old thing. So you can go at once. I think it's once a month anyway. So it just ends up repeating itself. Well, yeah, you could do stuff about building, but then I'd have to have time to sit there and and record and work with someone that's building the car, which I would actually like to do. But you got to really make a lot of time for that. And it would be like a year before I can even put that video together. Like you got to figure it takes a couple years for a car to be put together. So really, honestly, like in order to do that video, it would be an investment in for a few years to follow how that car was built, which is fine, but it would be a long investment for something to get you guys something really interesting. Unless I just go different people that are building cars at different aspects and stages, and then get their input and then put it all as one video, and it'd be a bunch of different cars doing, and then it'd be about a bunch of different things. All right. Well, anyhow, um, seems they're losing everybody, but people will watch this throughout the day. I gotta finish this coffee so I can start editing. Um, yeah, it's cold already, but just for all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. I'll throw in this little thing. Tomorrow is my birthday. You know, last year Father's Day and my birthday was on the same day. I get to be a whole 44, and tomorrow. So I let everybody know I'm not celebrating my 44. I'm celebrating my 22nd birthday, and that's gonna be. I gotta work, so it don't matter. Whatever, it's just another day. Um, but don't take life for granted, because in the beginning of this video, if you didn't see it, I said one of my friends passed away Thursday night, Friday morning in his sleep. He had 3 children. They found, well, I don't know which ones did, but his kid found him, you know, passed away in his bed. And they found him on Friday. And not only is it, Father's Day weekend, his birthday is the day after mine. I'm literally a day older than him. And, his daughter messaged me, and it's hard. I'm going to put a link up to a GoFundMe. It'll be underneath this video. You guys can help out. I really appreciate it. He's the same age as me. Like I said, literally a day older. His birthday would have been the 22nd. And so, don't take things for granted in this world, because we don't know. My grandmother passed away on the 25th, and she was 93. And it hurt me a lot, because between her and losing my mom, October 2nd, 2019, and losing my grandmother, they both raised me. And I didn't have a father. My mom worked. My grandmother watched me. And I also, as an adult, I lived with her for a long time. It took me a while to get my shit together, but she helped me with my son. My grandmother did, and my mom. But they helped me with my son. So losing them was hard. It was really hard. And if you saw my Mother's Day video, it was upsetting. And then my grandmother, it just hit even worse. And but I have to survive and push through. I'm doing everything on my own for my boy. And he's sitting down on the couch right now watching me and listening. But, as a father, you do the best you can. And if you don't have the greatest relationship with your kids, it's effort to try. And some people that feel that they're being held away from their kids, don't worry, it takes time. I said this earlier. I have a lot of friends that have a whole different relationship with their kids now that they're older. Now that the kids realize that it was the mother they got in the way of their relationship, and their kids like respect them. And I know people that don't have good relationships with their kids, and that's what it is. It happens. But as a dad, if you don't know what to do, just don't give up. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. I had to learn a lot of things when I was older, and a lot of things that my mom told me in life were true. She wasn't right all the time, but a lot of the things she tried to explain to me or guide me in were true, like credit, like learning how to get better credit or manage your bills and stuff like that, and how important it is. Never thought that. I was young and stupid. It wasn't until having a kid that it made me realize I had to be responsible with things. And wasn't I am never shown up to work consistently in my life until I was a father. I had never held a job for so long consistently until I was a father. It was always easy to walk away from a job because I just didn't give a shit. I didn't like it, and if they treated me wrong, I'm fucking out. But at the end of the day, and I keep saying this because I want to end, but it's like, and I don't want to get all emotional, but I had to learn how to be a good father. I had my uncles; they did what they could. Some didn't. Some did. They're still there. They still care. Um, but they also have their own children. Um, I talk with other fathers, and yeah, the generation is crazy, and kids are different. But you know that social bond of a father to a father is important, and all those things matter on Father's Day, whether you realize it or not. Appreciate yourself. If you never gave up on trying to be a good father, no matter what the outcome, appreciate yourself. Um, like I said, just take it for what it is, because this has been a really hard year for me. I've moved. Some of you guys have followed me. I used to be in a house. Now I'm in my apartment by myself. My son, when he's here, and co-parenting is important. And I make it a very important decision to get along with his mom, even though we have our issues. And that's being a good father. Do the best you can. But I've told my son, in this recent times of everything, that it's just about me and him right now. And I can't help nobody else no more. I can't stick my neck out for anybody else. I can't sacrifice anything for anybody else but him. Period. And for me, for my livelihood, for my happiness, for my peace. I just want peace. And I haven't had it. I haven't got it yet. Every time I think I'm gonna get it, something else happens, and that's called life. And that's the way it's going to be. I wake up lately, and I woke up, and I'm horribly sad. I'm almost in tears. I open my phone, I see stuff from my grandmother, memories. Now I'm seeing all these people posting about my homeboy that passed away, and the things they say about him and talking about him and everything. And it hurts. And as a man, you have to understand that it's okay to hurt. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be all those things. And I'm there, I lay there, I look at my stuff, I drink my coffee, I'm sad for a while, and I have to get on with my day. But I allow myself to go through that, to not regret not going through that. Grieving is important. And just in anybody else that's lost somebody, and to the people that have, the families of the people that I know that have just had someone pass away, grieve in your own way. Don't let no one tell you not to cry if you got to cry. When we did the funeral for my grandmother, I cried and I didn't wipe away one fucking tear. Not one. And it doesn't it doesn't get better. You just get stronger because you're always going to care. There was days my grandfather passed away 20 something years ago, and I think about him and I still get upset. My mom passed away 2 years ago, and that hurts all the time. But as being a man, you're told you're not supposed to feel, not supposed to cry. That's bullshit. That's bullshit because you got to also make sure you're able to have those feelings so that you can convey your life and stuff for your kids and have empathy for people. But grieve, feel what you need to feel. If you're a father today and you don't get to see your kids, feel it. Don't get mad. Just feel it. Use it to motivate you. Because lately, everything that's happened, that's harmful, that's hurts, that's not going in my way, is only motivating me to keep pushing harder, to not give up. And in itself, I'm pretty proud of who I am today because I know without honestly, if I wasn't a father, I couldn't do this stuff. I couldn't do half the things that I dedicate myself to do, and I do it no matter what. No one gets in my way. You can get in my way all you want. I will figure it out and I'll go around. I'll make it work for me. I'm tired of the setbacks. I'm tired of being stressed out. I'm tired of busting my ass and then still barely breaking even. Yeah, I'm tired of it. So now I have to do more so I don't have to be those things. I want to have extra in my bank account. I want to have a padding. Moving more than once this year in the last year has dissolved any extra money that it got me behind on everything. I finally just got caught up where all my bills, nothing's behind. And I'm very proud of myself for that. But it's exhausting. It's very exhausting as a man, as a father. You know, I I, I don't know. So I work two jobs. I have this hustle right here, and I make money. But what you don't understand is like sometimes people say, "Well, that's not really something to be proud of." You. But then again, at the end of the day, I live in the Bay Area. It's expensive, and I have my own apartment, and I pay everything by myself. And I never thought I'd have any of that years ago. So once I get where I want to be financially, it's time to start working even harder so I can put money away so I can get a house, buy a house. That's my goals in life. People say, "Why don't you have a lowrider?" I want a house before I want a lowrider. When I get my house, then I'll worry about getting a lowrider. Right now, I love doing what I'm doing. I love lowriders enough to film it, document it, make videos about it, talk about it, sit here with you guys, and even you know, you know, get my son to try to be interested in it. He likes Lexuses, the new ones. Maybe just learning how to compose photos at with lowriders will help him go take pictures of the cars he actually really likes. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, I'm working hard for a legacy. I'm not working hard for being famous, being popular, being uh, rich. I just want to be better off. I want to be able to maintain. And I want to continue doing this because I would hate to have to go get a whole other full time or a different job that required me to work on the weekends and stuff like that. I've turned down positions based on the fact that I won't give up on this and what I'm doing. And it's not more money. It's not. It's maybe a better job, but it's not more money. And it's not even, and even sometimes it is possibly better money in the long run. I'm not sacrificing what I love to do for a day job. My day job pays my bills. My hustle pays for the things I want to do. Understand that. Plain and simple. You work hard. My job just doesn't, I don't get overtime. I don't have all those things. But I'm also not locked into a schedule. What I do for a living It's very flexible. I can have my son with me. I can do a lot of things and I get paid pretty good. But like I said, it pays the bills. Anything extra, I hustle for. I want more, I hustle for. I want something special for him, I hustle for. All legitimately, all legally, and all with the intent to better my life. Plain and simple. So I hope that if you're not inspired or you weren't inspired or you don't know what to do with certain things in your life, just don't give up. Hustle for what you got to hustle for. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you hustle illegally, the consequences if you get busted is you'll lose everything. Me, if I lose one of my hustles, I just go get another one. Plain and simple. I'm not going to lose everything. If YouTube fucking stop paying me or something, at the end of the day, I'm not going to jail. I don't lose my kid, stuff like that. So that's what it is. And that's what's important. But you have to have that focus. You have to have what's important to you. And I think a lot of times we lose that. A relationship, if I had a good woman in my life, would be great, but I don't. And it's okay. Is it me? I don't know. Maybe every woman seems to meet me, thinks I'm a great guy, great father, and they're really impressed with how much I work and take care of things until it affects the attention they get. And then it becomes a problem. But that's part of being who I am. I'm not giving up what I got to do for anybody, period. Yeah, you're right, Jen. It is unfortunate pain. It's the pain will create people to change and learn, and that's the one thing that I've heard, and it's the one thing that I've heard a lot. Until you've experienced it and you don't run from it, because the people that run from it, they never change. You can run from it with alcohol, drugs, stuff like that, relationships, and it'll never get better. Yeah, yeah. Try to take care of your parents. I mean, people don't. I mean, my mom wouldn't let me help take care of her. She was pain. Yeah, exactly. You know, the one thing I believe in a hustle is if the hustle's good, then what it does is it makes it so you don't have to hustle as hard the next day. The the good thing about a hustle is that maybe it's good enough so you don't have to hustle then the whole next week. But then if something happens, you use that hustle to compensate for the difference of when something does happen. And it does make a difference. I drive Uber, and that's my side hustle. But it's really done a lot for me doing Uber on the side, but I work full time. And then I have this. And this helps me at the end of the month because I get paid once a month. It covers something, helps me cover my car payment or whatever it may be, just whatever I want to use it for. If I want to go buy tickets to fly to a car show in a couple months, that's what I do. That's what the YouTube's for. That's the real thing about it. I love doing this stuff and bringing. When I had it, and I'm gonna go to this real quick, and then I'm gonna end. I created my first YouTube before it was owned by Google. It was its own company, and I had a shitty little point and shoot camera. And there's a couple videos on my original page. It's still there. But the concept and my idea is that because they were saying low riding was dying, and I told myself I am not gonna allow that to happen. I want people to know that it's still here, it's still alive, it's alive in San Jose, and that's what my mentality was. That you know, and then I started doing other things, and it became this eventually when I decided to be on my own, and it's the best thing I could have done. Um, so yeah. If I win the lottery, then I really do this shit for free. I don't care. No. But, at the end of the day, that's it. My boy.
Hi.
Hold on. Say hi, Javier.
Hi.
They can hear you. This is my son. He's 9 now. Some of you guys have seen the pictures of him in the pedal car. He was 3. But yeah, this is the world I have right here. This is everything I do a lot for, and I'll never change it, you know. And this guy, things he says, he has heart like his dad, you know. It's important to me. He's important. Being a father is important. Very important. I never even thought I was going to be a father. Never knew. I had him when I was 35. I'll be 44 tomorrow. You know, he was born when I was 35. So, you know, everything's worked out and it's happened the way it's supposed to be. I can only assume because I was very different, mature rate when I was 35, and which also gave me the ability to be a good father. So at the end of the day, you know, we do what we got to do. But we got to appreciate these little pain in the butts right here. Okay. Because, they make our world worth it. Yeah. With everything going on in the world, I wouldn't give anything, not one thing. Because what I have to do, and as hard as I have to work sometimes, and everything, he makes it all worth it. Anyways, happy Father's Day. You guys have a good day. I'm out. Love you, Pop.